Okay, so now we can enter the name, like the category list name, class name. Let's take the class name. Okay, now we want to give it a width, right? So actually, let me separate the skin uh, so we can could see better. Okay, what am I doing? Oh, come on. Okay, so let's keep our browser here and okay. So I think we can see it better now, right? Okay. So now what we want when we click on our category, let's give it a width, right? Let's give it a width of 300 pixel. Okay. And we want to give it a background color, right? So let's give it white. Okay, got it. And we want to give it a border. Let's say border 1 pixel, solid. I think we have a variable called border light. Let's give it a border light, right? Okay, okay. Give me a second, please. Category list. Okay. So actually, I think our folder structure was not set up right. So let me just go back to categories. Let's actually go back to head up, right? And let's wrap it up inside. I want to say categories. Okay. Okay. So let's change it up a bit. Because if we are going to use the positioning, I think we have to render the buttons here. Let's name it categories. And okay, so we want to create a drop down, right? So we can create the drop down manually, right? We can use the positioning, relative position, and we can use the whatever position absolute to make the categories hover in place. But if we are going to use the a component library, we should actually use the component library to do that. So for our project, I said we are going to use NDesign, right? So NDesign with Next.js. Okay. So let's work with NDesign. Because NDesign will provide us drop downs and we can handle those from here. So let's install NDesign. Okay. Okay, so to use NDesign, we just have to install it, and for pages order, we do not have to set up additionally set up any end registry or anything. We can just install it and use it like regular. Okay, let's see if the installation is done. Okay, so the installation it is done. Now we can actually go back to NDesign's documentation. Okay, now we can just type drop down. Okay, so as you can see, this is our NDesign drop down. We are going to use the drop down to implement this drop down functionality. This one. Okay. Okay, so let's go back. So it says hover. Okay, let's take anyone. We're using JavaScript. So inside the drop down, you can set up menus and set up as items, and NDesign will internally handle how you close, how to close the drop down, or when you click on an item, it will actually close the drop down. So we do not want to use menu. We are actually you're going to use drop down render. So let's just take the component first. So let's head back to our website, our code. And inside our header component, let's enter the drop down. Okay. We have our categories folder. All right. Inside our categories, we are going to say drop down. Right. We are importing in from NDesign. Okay. I don't think we are supposed to import it from NDesign. Let me check the documentation again. Okay. We are supposed to import it from drop down. All right. Okay. Normal end. Okay. So inside the drop down, we have to render some props, right? So I can say that I want to say the trigger. So I want to show the drop down when the user clicks on it. So I can set up the drop down as trigger. And then we have another prop. If you go to NDesign documentation, you will see that where is it? Drop down render. So we can use the drop down render to customize the drop down content. That means we do not have to use the a menu prop. We can just say drop down render, and we have to give it a function, and it will return our elements. So inside that, I'm going to actually return the category list, right? Okay. So I think now we are set up. And inside the drop down, we can actually now go to our category list and render our button here. So if I just copy it from here, and let's copy it. Okay. Okay. So we are actually going to use a separate category list for our responsiveness, our mobile devices, and our large devices. So that's why I am rendering it from our category, so that depending on the devices width, I can render different category list. So for default right now, I am just going to render the category list. I'm going to show you the responsiveness in another crash course, how you can make the website responsive. So for now, let's just focus on our homepage and our large devices. So inside our category list, we have our button setup and everything is okay. So let's go back to our UI and see if we get any errors. Okay, let's reload it.